Hello friends, welcome to my channel and a warm welcome to my new subscribers. For the dough I'm using 100 grams of bread flour, 60 grams of water at 78 degrees or 25.5 degrees Celsius, and 5 grams of yeast. Instant yeast, or that dry yeast that you buy in the grocery store. Or you can also find it as a rapid rise yeast. We integrate everything, that's our yeast, and we're going to shape it into a bowl. Meanwhile, we already have a container with 1 to 2 liters of water, and that's where our yeast is going to go into. I'm accelerating the fermentation process, and that bowl is the yeast that we're going to use for the pizza. We're going to leave that yeast in the water for 3 to 5 minutes until it comes up to the surface. Consider subscribing to my channel. A like helps me a lot, and share it with your friends. See, 5 minutes later, while I waited, the dough came to the surface. Now we're going to get it out of there, and I measured 240 grams of water, and I am going to dissolve that yeast in there. Doesn't have to be completely perfect. In total, I'm using 500 grams of flour, 300 grams of water. That makes it a 60% hydration dough, which is pretty standard for pizza. If you live in a place that is very dry, a little bit more water. I'd say like 3 or 4 more tablespoons of water. Once it is more or less dissolved, I add the flour and the other ingredients, which I will show you pretty soon. That's 400 grams of flour, that is bread flour, 12 grams of salt, 12 grams of olive oil, and 5 grams of malt or sugar. If you don't have malt, you can use sugar. When I start, I help myself using the handle of a wooden spoon to mix the ingredients. Then I start kneading with my hands when I can't do it with a stick or with the wooden spoon anymore. Doesn't take very long. So right now I'm just mixing the water and the flour. Now I'm adding the salt and the oil. I knead a little bit, then I add the sugar or the malt. The sugar basically feeds the yeast. The yeast loves eating sugar, so that's why you add that, especially if it is a rapid rise dough that you're making. You want to eat pizza the same day, that will help the dough to ferment a little bit faster. While I was kneading, and I was kneading for about 5 minutes, I prepare another container because I'm going to transfer that dough into another container that I already greased. And when I put it into the other container, I wash that one because I'm going to let the dough rise in that particular container for 3 to 4 hours. See, after kneading for about 5 minutes, the dough is very elastic and it's not sticking to your hands or to my hands. And you pull and then you push with your fist. Now we flour the table or the countertop and transfer the dough that was in the other container. Remember I told you I was going to put it there? And the other Tupperware is already washed and greased. That's where this is going to go to. So you push a little bit the dough to let some of the gases out, and then you're going to shape it into a ball or a rectangle depending on how your pizza is going to be. If it's going to be you're going to put it in a round tray, you make a ball. If you're going to do it you make the pizza in a baking sheet, you shape it like a rectangle. Check out my other videos in my channel, and put it, as I said, put it in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours, and then when you get it out of the fridge, leave it in the container and let it rest there for about half an hour before you start stretching the pizza or shaping the pizza in the tray. That's all, Chaito.